Ireland got their Six Nations campaign underway last week in Cardiff. But after a heavy 31-5 defeat by Wales in the opener, Irish head coach Greg McWilliams said his side had some soul-searching to do. France are looking to make it 2 wins from 2 after an opening victory over Italy. Ireland will be hoping for a better showing today at home to France. The two sides meet here at Musgrave Park in County Cork this afternoon, and the French will be hoping for a repeat of last year's Six Nations demolition.
Lorenz, she's going for the corner and she gets there. That's a really, really good finish. She's going to try and get in herself, and she does. Wales did very well in the mole against Ireland last weekend in the attacking mole. It looks like France are doing the same this week. Are they over? France go again. France looking for the bonus point this early in the game. Sansus ready to take it at any moment. She does. She goes again. Sansus! Higgins. Higgins goes. Higgins for the line. Higgins gets the try. Vernier, there's plenty of space for Philippon, but she hands it off to Boulard.
It's Ireland against France in round 2 of the 2023 TikTok Six Nations live across the BBC. Well, a big hello and welcome to a sunny yet windy Musgrave Park as Ireland play host to 6-time Six Nations champions France here in Cork. And I'm delighted to say that joining me for today's game is former Ulster and Ireland international Claire Small and former Leinster and Ireland international Hannah Tyrrell. You're both very welcome. Thank you so much for being with us today. Claire, you made your debut, your senior international debut at the Six Nations back in 2016. I'm sure it doesn't seem that long ago. What kind of an occasion is this, Claire, for the players?
Oh, it's a massive occasion. Like, any time you get to put on the green jersey is a huge moment for any player. But to make your first cap, I suppose I got mine at home against Italy, and for these girls who are on the bench, for Clara Nielsen, Catherine Buggy and Emma Swords, who's come in late, this is potentially the first time that they'll get to come onto the pitch and play for their country. So it's a massive occasion, and I'm sure they're really excited to get out there.
I'm sure they are indeed. Hannah, we say former player, but you're clearly still in action in some way. What happened to you?
Yeah, I just hurt my foot playing for the Dublin Ladies a couple of weeks ago. It's nothing serious and I'll be back soon.
I hope so. We wish you a speedy recovery. As we saw, Claire, it was a difficult opener for Ireland, that 31-5 defeat to Wales in Cardiff. What were your overall thoughts on the performance?
Yeah, I suppose the overall performance wasn't great, and I'm sure that Ireland, or they'll be saying that themselves, they weren't happy with how things went. They were dominated by a very impressive Welsh side. We saw the dominance of that side with their line-out maul, with their scrummaging, and I suppose by half-time Wales had the bonus point and it was hard for Ireland to come back. But we did see some improvements in that second half. Second half was actually 5-5, and we saw that some of the things that went wrong in that first half were improved by Ireland. They turned things around in the scrum, got a couple of penalties, and their overall game management was better. So hopefully we'll see even more improvements coming into the match today.
Hannah, there was a lot of positivity going into that game against Wales. Will it therefore be extra disappointing, and how will Ireland be hoping to bounce back today?
Yeah, absolutely. I think pre-game people would have viewed Ireland and Wales as two teams that are really on par and even with each other. The only big difference being that Ireland were much more inexperienced. We're the most inexperienced team in the championship, whereas Wales are a team, that have been around for a very long time. Unfortunately, we just got blown out of the water by Wales a little bit. They're a year ahead of us in their professional journey, I suppose, and it really showed in that game. Their set piece was fantastic. Their taking the ball into contact and rucking it was fantastic, and they dominated us in every single aspect, and they didn't give us any sort of an attacking platform. And Wales, when they came to it, they were much more clinical in taking their tries. And Ireland were lucky enough to get on the scoreboard in the end in the second half, but it was a much deserved win for Wales, who were very, very good.
And looking at this French side, Claire, what are we expecting from them? I mean, Greg McWilliams in his pre-match press conference, he outlined they're strong in the front row, they're strong in the back row, they've an active hooker. We know what they're capable of.
Yeah, they have strength right throughout the team. And I suppose last week we saw a performance from them that wasn't up to par. you know, last week they only beat Italy by 10 points. They got over the try line a couple of times, but they won't have been happy with that performance. They were dominant up front. Their scrum was very good, and I think that's something that they will try and use today against Ireland. But no, they have talent across their team, and I suppose with Ireland looking at France, they will be a tough competitor today. But I do think that Ireland could put France under pressure if they're able to put pressure on them in defence.
Hannah, 5 changes to the starting 15 that lined up against Wales last week. Were you surprised at that? Dana O'Brien starting, I know you're a big fan, I'm sure you're happy about that one.
Yeah, look, a couple of changes. Obviously, Enya Breen's injury, you know, is really unfortunate, but gives Vicky Irwin a chance to come in and slot in at 12 and show what she's made of. Dana O'Brien, I've been really impressed with playing for club and for province this year. She's a young teenager, only 19 years of age, but she's been really, really good and stepped up against Japan last year in the Summer Series. Her first Six Nations start, I think she's a really good left boot in her, which will get us out of any sort of trouble and pressure that France put on us with their defence. But she also has a running game to her, and she can really take a dummy, and that makes her so versatile, and defences don't really know what she's going to do. And hopefully she can unlock this backline that we have and get through that French defence.
I'm going to push you both for a very quick prediction, Claire.
I do think that France are going to be dominant today. If Ireland come out and show an improved performance, it could be tighter than the scoreline last year, but I do think it's going to be a France win.
Hannah?
Yeah, France for me, they're much bigger, much more physical, and looking at their bench, former World Player of the Year, former French captain there, yeah, France for me.
Well, time will tell. That is it for us until half-time, but now we hand over to our commentary team. Former Ireland captain Ciara Griffin is alongside Oisín Langan.
Well, 2 teams with contrasting starts to the tournament and who are looking for an improvement in their performances today. France did win away in Italy, while Ireland suffered a heavy defeat against Wales. Even though the French won, their performance was far from perfect, so they'll be looking for better today. They've won 7 of their last 8 meetings with Ireland-France, while they have won their last 4 of those matches by at least 24 points. Greg McWilliams' side are certainly up against it, but the talk from the camp all week has been about rising to the challenge. Ciara Griffin, what do Ireland need to do today?
I think Ireland need to front up the France from the get-go, physically, you know, stop them on the gain line, physically dominate them in those tackles and in that breakdown area, and just front up.
How much can you turn it around from last week? How much can you improve on?
There's only a certain number of things you can improve on in a few days, so I think a big thing would be the tackle area, getting those dominant hits, and in that breakdown, need to slow down that French breakdown.
France coming out onto the pitch. There's a sizable enough France travelling support in Musgrave Park today. You can see them around Cork City today. There's some of them there, waving the tricolours as always. France, one of the best teams in the world, bronze medalists at last year's World Cup, desperately unlucky to lose to New Zealand in that semi-final. What an atmosphere that was. This isn't a bad atmosphere either. Ciara, you're very pleased to see Irish fans turning up in their numbers.
Yeah, no, it's great to see. Like, there's great to see so many numbers around, really spread out here around Musgrave Park, and that's what you need for your home games. You need an extra boost, gives it an extra gear when you're under the pump. So hopefully that'll help us throughout this game.
There's been a bit of change in that French team and squad, but still they're so strong, aren't they? Such
a strong team, such an experienced team also. So it's going to be a very physical day here for Ireland.
Nicola Friday leading out Ireland. The mascots are Hannah Moriarty from Stillorgan in County Dublin and Cara Gavin from Clontarf in County Dublin. And her favourite player is one, Ciara Griffin.
My God.
That's nice to see the young generation still remembering you, still looking up to you.
Fair play. Hopefully she'll be in green someday also.
Well, the pyrotechnics going off before the game. Will we see pyrotechnics during the game as well? We'll find out very, very soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please be standing.
But first, the anthems sung by Emer Phelan. It always gets the French up for matches. The trouble is, it also gets the opposition fans up for matches as well. Emer Phelan with the anthems, the crowd responding. Ireland taking on France in the TikTok Six Nations. Linda Jugang moves from loose to tight head, while Christy Haney is at loose head with Sive McGrath dropping to the bench. Two changes in the back row, Grace Moore and Dervlin Nicavord both starting. There's only 32 caps in the Irish backline, so the coaches are hoping youthful enthusiasm can make up for inexperience. The back three remains unchanged, while 19-year-old Dan O'Brien guides things from number 10, where she's partnered by Molly Scuffle McCabe. Enya Breen misses out through injury, so Vicky Irwin takes her place in the centre.
How are you?
For France, there's only one change in the front row, with Clara Joyeux taking over from Ashia Kalfoui. The second and back rows remain the same. That is a very, very powerful pack. In the backs, Emily Boulard is out, so Morgane Bourgeois makes her first start for France. There's a real buzz around her. In the absence of Caroline Drouin, who's concentrating on sevens, Carla Arbez takes up the out-half position. One late change on the Irish bench, with Nicole Cronin losing out through injury. She's been replaced by Emma Swords, Ciara Nielsen and Catherine Buggy in line for their debuts. France have a loaded bench as always, which today includes former World Player of the Year Jessie Tremoulier. France will get us underway, playing into what is known locally as the Dolphin End, the North Terrace in Musgrave Park, a stadium that has undergone an awful lot of work in the last couple of years, not just on the pitch, which is now 4G/synthetic, but also the stands around. It's in great condition for this game. The weather is playing its part. France taking on Ireland in the TikTok Six Nations, and here we go. France looking for their first title in 5 years, beaten in effectively what was a final by England last year. They were disappointed with their World Cup performance, even though, as I say, they did get to the semi-final. They had their eyes on winning that. No Ferrer, no Mayans, no Ndiaye, no Sansus. No problem for France, they still have the numbers. But it's Ireland who go on the first attack. Scuffle McCabe.
Taken back.
That's a good start by Dan O'Brien. France look to counter, which they can do at speed. Bourgeois, the player we mentioned in the build-up, watching on as
Leave it now, Green. Ball's there, Green ball.
Bourdon tries to dig it out. Have Ireland managed to turn it over? If they have, that's a massive win. Early doors, no, they haven't. Bourdon. That was a strong hit, but Banet did get it away. Ménager, only 26, but winning her 38th cap today. That's a strong tackle, a good tackle by Haney. Bourdon. France tried to move it quickly through the hands. That's Escudero. Penalty for Ireland. Ciara, that's a huge victory early in the game.
Massive victory there already. The Irish defence, there seems to be a mindset switch. They're coming off the line, unlike last week. And you can see in the breakdown, they're hassling at the breakdown, causing the French to resource the ruck. Again, forcing French player to come in from the side there, just getting that discipline. Good start by Ireland.
Holly Davidson, by the way, is our referee. O'Brien in tricky and windy conditions. But that's not a bad effort at all. Still only 19. Turns out for old Belvedere and Leinster, but of course is from County Carlow.
Very well executed there. She's making use of that crossfield wind. That was a difficult kick from outside the middle of the pitch, so well done.
Pretty much went from school to playing for Leinster. Jones. It's a little bit loose and France have it back. When you get an advantage like that, you have to take it. Ireland have to cut out the mistakes. Escudero. Bourdon. Strong tackling again from Ireland. Ju Gang is there. One of the physically strongest ones in the Irish pack. And Ireland have turned it over. Fantastic work, Scuffle McCabe.
Very good rip by Ju Gang there in the tackle.
Scuffle McCabe, O'Brien. Vicky Irwin taking a big hit there. Ireland trying to recycle, and they have. Scuffle McCabe. Friday. Scuffle McCabe. Ju Gang. Gets a little help there from Dorothy Wall. Scuffle McCabe trying to step around as Nick Ward. The number 8 does have wheels, does have skills, has very good feet. Ireland tried to probe and find an opening. Wall was carrying there. Scuffle McCabe. O'Brien. They're not going for the Hollywood passes, they're just keeping it simple. Going through the phases, testing France. Playing their way into the game. Scuffle McCabe. O'Brien. Moore filling in his temporary scrum half there. It was a good pass. She's involved again here. Here's Scuffle McCabe. Flung out wide. Doyle. Not much space to work with, but Ireland still have it. That's Moore. Irwin, who's seen a lot of ball early in the game. O'Brien. Scuffle McCabe. O'Brien. That's a clever kick. That's a really clever kick.
Very good execution. Good high and good sight to see that the French back three are up flat in the line. You notice there with the ruck, when the minute Ireland came within the French 10, the French weren't contesting at the breakdown. They were spanning out, giving that blue wall of the fence. There was no other option but for Dan O'Brien to kick in the back line, and really good execution.
So shot. Good take by Gros. Mixed results at the set piece for France in Italy last week, but the conditions were absolutely horrible. France win the penalty there.
On the floor.
Unfortunately there for Ireland to give away that penalty inside the French 22. You want to pin them back. That's where you need to be disciplined. So hopefully we'll see this pressure come back in the French half again.
Okay. No huddles.
Arbez clears her lines.
Really promising start from Ireland. You know, they're taking the ball to France, like we said. They need to front up, and they're taking some very strong dominant carries.
Greg McWilliams and John McKee the Irish coaching staff.
Good.
You can't see her there, but Niamh Briggs obviously a big part of it as well.
Oh, good. Okay, time on.
So shot well taken by Forlani, the captain. Ireland struggled to contain the Welsh maul last week. What could they do against the French here?
Advantage, class number 5.
Bourdon. It's a miscue, but there was a lucky bounce. Bougard. Great offload by Bougard to Bourgeois. Bourdon. Helped on by Arbez. Bourdon. Arbez. Escudero gaining hard yards. Arbez. Bourdon. France working that short side really well at Berthemieux.
Off the foot.
Bourdon. De Hay carried well. Very impossible to stop. Ball bounces again, luckily. For France or so, we thought. Well, it is a penalty for them anyway.
Collapse.
Really good wall formation there from France. They were clinical, they were low, and they kept going in unison. It forced Ireland in order to stop it. They unfortunately pulled it down. Again, it's something we need to target, either hit and split and driving towards that touchline.
Arbez. France will have the line out just outside the Ireland 22.
Nice coptic. Great on you, thank you.
That's what they did from the last one. Forlani took it down and France went to the maul. So shot. This time it's Fellou who takes it. Same result though. France go for the maul, but Ireland.
Better defence there by Ireland.
Standing strong.
Excellent. All working together. Nice low profile.
France go to the back line to see what they can do. It goes loose and falls kindly for Arbez. On the carry, Sochat. Bourdon. Forlani. Forlani pumping the legs and driving forward. Bourdon. Escudero. Bourdon might go herself. France try and keep this one alive. Going for this, De Hay. She's just short. Ireland try and hold them out. Bourdon. Forlani! Forlani crashes over. France get their opening try.
Well worked try there from France. They went through the phases, even though the ball didn't go to hand or didn't go to plan, they reacted to what was in front of them. Some really good running lines, strong carries. Although on the flip side, on the Irish line, some really good defensive set there. Unfortunately, just Forlani used her experience, saw the soft shoulder and got over.
Well, it's just her second game as captain, Forlani. The 31-year-old waited for her moment, I think it's fair to say.
Time to perfection.
Oh, good, high space.
You could see by the way she kind of weaved in her movement there.
She saw.
Cheers, Benny.
Just that disconnect there between the two Irish players gave that extra gap. That it was easy for Forlani to get through.
What a mixed day for Bourdon last week in Italy in very tough conditions. There is a breeze here, but this shouldn't be an issue. As it turns out, it is.
The commentator's curse.
So can Ireland respond? The crowd are getting behind them.
Oh.
And Jugang
That's fine, if she's in goal, we can
is
play.
getting some
We'll play.
running repairs. Now, there was talk of her having an injured
We'll play the
shoulder
ball.
coming into today.
She's off the field of play, so we'll play the ball. Are you going right or left? Left. Thank you.
with the French coaching ticket watching on. Gail Mignot and David Ortiz. Mignot is, of course, a former French hooker who won 70 caps. She captained France to a Grand Slam, once nominated for World Player of the Year. France showing a moment's hesitation there, and it could cost them.
Very good restart there by Diana Ryan. So she got really good hang time on that ball, on that kick. And there was a bit of lack of communication there between the French drop between 3 French players.
Well, you can see why Claire and Hannah talked up Dana in the pre-game chat.
Thank you.
So shot. Forlani denied. Ireland, have they turned it over? No, they haven't, but they did very much disrupt France. Lots of positive signs so far for Ireland, certainly much better than last week. The aggression is one thing. Monaghan thought she was away.
Knock on over here. Knock on.
French scrum for an Ireland knock-on.
Really good pressure there by Ireland going up. Really strong lift here, Nicola Friday to get that hand in and get across for Lani. Hopefully more to come. Really good there by Nicola Friday.
Turn over there is good. It's just gone off someone's foot. No problem. Okay, first scrum. Yep.
So the scrum is another place where people said Ireland really struggled last week. This is the first test. Have they improved? You can't get physically stronger in a week, but you can work better together.
Completely. Just getting that minor detail together, getting those reps in, that time together. They need to get low and lock this out.
Well, lots of debate during the week as to whether or not Ireland should have tried to get a pre-tournament match, and maybe that was an issue.
Much better by Ireland.
France had to go out the backs, and why not? Menage. They can do it any which way, can't they, France? But Ireland again slowed them down. Dehay. That is a fantastic break by Banet. We're done. Forlani. We're done. And France forced to go to the boot. And the chase-up is coming here from Bouchard. It will bounce kindly for Bouchard. Bouchard, can she see this one home? It looks like she can, and she does. Scored against Ireland last year in Toulouse, and now she's come to Cork and got a try again against Ireland.
Bouchard using all her experience there, following up that kick, while others may just take the foot off the pedal. She saw the opportunity. Bit of lack of experience there by the Irish back three, needed to cover that ball. It was probably something they highlighted. French will look the kick. Very good execution by Bouchard.
Scored a vital try last weekend against Italy. Scores the second try for France here in Cork.
No, I thought you said it's a knock on at the line. I was like, it's not. Yeah.
Well, we can say there was a lucky bounce, but she made it look like it was lucky by the way she controlled it. She knew where it was going to go. She knew where it was going to be.
Sometimes you make your own look by a bit of hard work, and that's exactly what Bouchard did there.
Thanks, Ben.
That's another miss. She's struggling with those kicks, both from a fairly identical position. The Ben you heard Holly Davidson refer to there, by the way, is Ben Whitehouse, the TMO today. And again, the crowd responds. This crowd are like Rocky. You can keep putting them down, they'll keep getting back up.
If I was Diana O'Brien, I'd go for exact same kickoff as last time. It was really good restart, pinning France back into the corner of their 10-metre.
No lack of communication this time in that France back three, and running at Ireland is Banet. It goes loose for Lani. Forlani eventually tackled into touch.
You think deliberate? Deliberate knock on.
That's a penalty for France for that deliberate knock on.
We'll just time off for the moment. Thanks.
Well, for Lani, many players would have just gone into contact, but she gained a few yards, and
Look at the power there for Lanny. Took 3 Irish players to get her over the line.
Gilbert, knock on.
Bean was receiving some treatment there over on the far side.
Girls, the line's going to be yours, okay? Yeah, line's yours.
I imagine if any Ireland player gets a knock of any sort today, they will just try and stop the game, get treatment, stop France getting momentum. Although they've already got 2 tries.
Ireland chose to stay down there and just hit the maul. Trying to stop it in its tracks. Much better maul defence by Ireland this week.
Bourdon. And it's good to see meaningful improvements, even though France are still leading. Ménager. Bourdon. Ireland managed to bring her to ground, but France recycle. Bourdon. They're so comfortable, France. Well, just as I say that, commentators curse again. Bouchard fumbles. There was a knock on. It is a scrum to Ireland. And Jugang is down again. This is the 2nd time she's been down. And in fairness to Bouchard, she was the first one to ask if she was okay. Went to check on her.
The last scrum.
Fantastic footwork there, walking through the defence.
Thank you. Yeah, perfect. I just can say all good. Yeah. And then great scrum.
It appears there just in the tackle, in the tackle, her Linda's knee got driven back.
Great.
Bouchard kind of fell into it.
Fell into it, just that jerk.
Yep.
Hopefully nothing too serious, just a bit of treatment.
Well, what does that tell you already in this game?
Very physical game. 50 tackles at 23, over double the number of tackles for Ireland. That is draining, that is taxing on the body. So hopefully we'll see a bit more attacking rugby here from Ireland.
Craig McWilliams watching on. And despite the fact that they trail by 10 points to 0, and we've just seen those stats and seen the difference between the teams, he will still think that there has been a definite improvement from last week.
There's a definite improvement. You can see it even just in the mindset of the players. They're coming off the line, they're hitting to stop and drive back. There's very few soaked tackles, and they're making their presence known. Also in the breakdown, you can see they're hitting the breakdown, they're trying to slow it down, just letting France know that they are there. Hopefully we just see this going on throughout the game and building that momentum.
So they will want to keep Linda Jugang on. They'll need to keep her on.
Jackal,
not only is she a good player, but she would have experience of many of these French players having played in France.
Is tight, yeah. So make sure you're coming right to the back foot.
Holly Davidson, she's a very vocal ref, and she gives the players every opportunity. You can see they're talking to Dervin Converge just on the breakdown. You know, as any back row, you're going to try and blur the lines of legality. So it's really important now, Ireland, to get that clear release and stay on the back foot before they go in for that turnover. She's obviously highlighted, so she will be hot in it for the next few minutes.
Well, here's the Forlani try. And here is the lead up to the Bouchard try.
Great first scrum, same on your ball, okay?
The bounce, catching B, and she was really unlucky, but Bouchard did really well to score it. Scuffle McCabe to feed, making her 6th Ireland appearance. Was taught at school by Fiona Coughlin, actually. Scuffle McCabe feeds. And Ireland go to the backs. Irwin. Scuffle McCabe. O'Brien. It's a deep kick. And it's fumbled. And then regathered by Bourgeois. It's not a particularly good clearance. She slices that one. Well, this is what can happen when you kick well. Behan from Wexford.
And it's a tackle.
Scuffle McCabe. Scuffle McCabe there again to get it moving quickly. Ireland trying to find a hole. Scull from McCabe on the break. She is isolated. Did manage to get the ball away to Nick Ward. Can Ireland work something here? Grace Moore. Scull from McCabe. They try to crash through. Scull from McCabe. Looking left, looking right. Where's she going to go? Popping up out of nowhere was Haney.
Okay, now use it.
Zhu Gang, who's over her injury issues. That's great work from Zhu Gang. Trying to slip through there. I think that's Nick Aboard. Scull from McCabe, got it off to Aoife Dalton. Scull from McCabe. Friday. Gets support Friday. Scull from McCabe. Sam Monaghan. Sonny Bill Sam, as she's called. Scull from McCabe. Irwin keeps it alive. Friday wants it. We know she can carry. Sweeps it off to Wall.
Really good phases here from Ireland. They're controlled. They're not panicked. They're building through the phases.
They're getting closer. Sam Monaghan goes herself. Gets support from Nick Aboard. They keep it tight. Keep it with the pack. Keep it with the forwards. Scull from McCabe. Now they'll try and open them up. Is there a gap for O'Brien? France have stolen it back.
So Shah using all her experience there, seeing the isolated player getting over.
A good move, one that they didn't finish, but one that suggests they are capable.
It's just that isolation there from Dan O'Brien, from her support players. Just unfortunately, just that delaying coming in. So Shah low over the ball, quick turnover and go clear of the lines.
Does that go back to something that was an issue, more so, granted, last week? The players at times were doing things individually, and O'Brien kind of broke there, didn't have the support. Whether that's her fault or the fault of the team, I'm not sure, but it is an issue.
It is, sometimes we get in those areas, there's a bit of, people can get a bit of white line fever as well. You want to get over that line, but sometimes you have to get close to the ball and you just kind of see what's happening. Great break here by Molly Scull from McCabe. She saw the French defence wasn't set. Quick break by Nick Averd. Yeah. Brilliant support line, quick thinking, good resource to the ball. You see some big carries here by Nicola Friday. The latch too by Dorothy Wall. Just we need more of that. That's what we were lacking. That's what Ireland were lacking last week. It was good to see that in the first half here, first 20 minutes.
Let's go, girls.
Well, Dan O'Brien desperately unlucky. Just got a little bit isolated. Ireland got turned over. France cleared it, but only two, as you can see, between the 10-metre line and the 22. Friday takes it in the line out. That's a really good maul from Ireland. Scull from McCabe. Ireland confident after getting so close. Zhu Gang carrying it to France in every sense today. Scull from McCabe. Friday knocking them over like bowling pins. On the break, Nick Aboard.
Advantage, high.
Don't get isolated, that's the key. O'Brien, really good movement. Deely.
Time off. CMO, want to check the sanction. I've got a high tackle by 1 blue.
Okay, so a high tackle from De Hay.
If it's anything more than a penalty.
Okay, Holly, we're going to show you the best few angles
well.
coming up very shortly. Tell me when you're at the screen.
Yeah, that's us there, Ben.
Okay, coming up.
Thank you.
It happens so quickly sometimes when the referee blows the whistle. You nearly have to wait for them to tell you.
Coming up now.
Why? Well, that's why they're mic'd up. Was there a high tackle here? Oh, yes, there was. Now, when it's slowed down, it always looks worse.
So there is head contact.
Well, that is reckless.
It does look like direct shoulder to head. Are we seeing a slight dip as she's going in?
She's full.
She's almost hitting up as well, isn't she?
I would agree with all your facts so far. I don't believe there's a dip so far from what I can see.
Yeah, so it's direct shoulder to head. The player could be more bent. Not only that, but she's almost driving up into the tackle. So like that. Okay, Ben, you can come back to me. You agree? Do you agree with all those facts, Ben?
I didn't quite hear the end of it, sorry.
She's driving up in the tackle as well.
It's a card, but what
Agree.
colour?
Okay.
Direct contact, driving.
Yeah. So there's direct head contact. It's a high degree of danger. She's not only driving up into the tackle, and we see no mitigation. So it's a red card to 1 blue.
It is red.
Agree.
Well,
1.
tackles like that are being taken
Tight.
very, very seriously, and there is a very good reason for that. And France go down to 14. Ciara, yes or no red card?
It was a red card by the rules. Do you know what I mean? Clear direct
sure
contact.
France
She could have dipped. She should have gone lower in her hit.
Set.
You need to control your force when you are defending.
Take the shot. Okay.
We're very lucky that there of Nick Averd, there's no further injury. But I must say, Holly Davidson, there was very clear communication. Further reasoning behind it. She went through, was very clear, and she ticked all the boxes for a red card.
Well, she is a referee who does not leave you wondering. She's incredibly clear in her decision making.
Extremely.
Of the Nigel Owens school, and I mean that as a compliment, by the way.
No, completely, and she's very clear, very detailed, and she
Okay,
gives
girls,
players an
21
opportunity,
in.
and she
How are
allows
you
clear
looking?
communication.
It is a swirling breeze here at Musgrave Park. Can O'Brien kick Ireland back into the game? The answer is yes. The flags go up. Ireland get on the board. And that could be a big few moments in this game. France lose De Hay and Ireland get their first points. Ireland 3, France 10.
The knock-on effect here now will be, will there be a back row player taken off so we can get a replacement for De Hay, so we'll see how that will work. Again, that has a knock-on effect then when it comes to scrum.
Getting us back underway, Arbez. Jugang got it under control. Scuffle McCabe just getting players out of the way. It goes loose and she dives on it really bravely. Then she's put to ground by Felou. It is a France line out.
Okay. Yeah, I'll watch. Okay. 3. Thank you. Thanks, girls.
So shot. Forlani takes.
No.
France looking to gain ground. Bourdon. France recycle. Go again and Felou. Try to sneak away with Bertholomew. Bourdon. Escudero.
Play on.
Bourdon. Felou. Forlani. Forlani is clamped there. She did get it away to Joyot. Forlani there again. Bourdon. It's knocked out of her grasp. And Ireland turn it over.
Really strong Irish defensive set there. Great pressure coming off the line. Look what that has done for the Irish team. Real energy booster.
Okay. Molly, come here. Molly, come here. 6.
Good rip by there by Nick Averd in the tackle. Just getting that hand under the ball to force it out.
Well, as you suggested for the scrum, Lindelof comes in. And Bertholomew heading up. Front row replacing a back row.
That's a strong carrying stress taken for France now.
And funnily enough, with the experience and the talent France have there, you would still expect them to win this game, but it might make it that bit closer. Scuffle McCabe. Scuffle McCabe. That was Irwin.
Hold.
Scuffle McCabe.
Waiting from. Wait.
And that's a good clearance kick. It's a very good clearance kick. And you can see Niamh Briggs in the high-vis vest on the sideline there giving a round of applause. If there's one person who knows a good kick, it's her.
Completely good appreciation for good execution.
O'Brien looks to the manner born, doesn't she?
She doesn't. She's very controlled. She doesn't seem fazed by the occasion or anything. You want that calm head on her 10 shoulders.
They're enjoying themselves. Susha. Forlani just about gets it under control. Here's Escudero. Trying to step around Ireland players. There is Vernier. Bourdon. Felou. Felou still going. Forlani. Escudero. Driven back. Yep, Friday amongst the players driving her back. Little chip over the top. Great take, great skill. Wonderful stuff from Arbez. Bourdon. Gros switches the angle of attack. Look how comfortable they are in just switching left to right. Bourdon. Getting trapped as Escudero, but still manages to get to ground. Bourdon. Arbez. Out wide it goes. Ménager out the back door. Bourgeois, Banet, trying to put her into touches. Deely gets a little help from her fellow players. Now crashing through is Lindelof. Bourdon, Arbez, Escudero. Bourdon, Arbez. Ireland have to be careful. Forlani. Bourdon was following her and lands over the line for France's third try. A very cleverly taken try. Forlani set it up. Bourdon touched it down.
Yeah. If they're not part, you let go, okay? Yeah. Sorry. Cheers, Bennett. Agat. At the line out. Yeah. I don't want to see the huddle, okay? It needs to be quicker. Quicker. Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Well, that chip and chase was followed by just recycle after recycle, phase after phase, juggle after juggle sometimes, but they did keep it in play.
Oui.
Forlani breaking through. The gap was wide open, too open.
That's the second try of the Six Nations by lack of pillars. That's the bread and butter of a defensive set piece. You need to set your pillar. You need to be alert. You don't switch off a pillar.
So let's far side, whoever
it's a very, very easy try to give away, unfortunately, after such a hard defensive set prior.
Well, Bourgeois has taken over the kicking duties because Bourdon, who has just scored the try, has missed two easy enough ones. No let off this time. France extract the full 7.
It's not a bad complaint to have two kicking options on the pitch at the one time.
No, it's not.
Strong response by France there to the red card. You know, they didn't panic. They went through their phases. They got the ball into the Irish half and recycled, eventually getting over. That'll be a nice reset for them.
Well, they won in Italy last week, but no bonus point, and they were thinking of it because they got a penalty with the clock going into red, and they could have just kicked it out and accepted the win, but they tried to play it from deep inside their own half to get the bonus point. So it is something they are thinking about, especially in these games. That was very well taken by Felou.
No hands, Green, no hands.
Arbez. Well, France might feel a bit hard done by the red card, and it might make them up their work rate. That was a good idea, the execution just a little bit off. I guess they they have to. When you go down to 14, every individual has to work that bit harder, and when that amount of talent is working hard and together, it's hard to stop. Jones with the ball in hand.
Okay, girls, in and set. In and set. Look at your 3. Advantage, not wrong. Backwards by green. Backwards.
France keep it alive. They'll play it. Bourdon. The set piece has to go well on a day like today. Right there, it didn't.
Scrum advantage is over.
Bourdon. Forlani wanted it, didn't go to her. Vernier chasing back was Behan, but it just got away from her.
Again, the backfield moves is something France have highlighted because it seems to be what they're targeting, kicking the ball low down far into the Irish half with a good blue wall.
Neve, I'll work with them if you can get your girls in quicker, okay?
You can see Hannah Davidson, she doesn't like the slow down at line out time. She doesn't want to see it to slow the pace of the game. She wants it going in and up.
Okay. No. I need
Jones.
the girls in, the gap is too big. I need it in and set. That's it. No, open. No. Yeah, hold. Keep the space at the back.
Jones won't let them go until she's happy, and she is now. Friday.
Maul.
That's decent from Ireland. Jones has that ball tucked under her arm. Scuffle McCabe is giving her directions.
She's through the middle.
You can hear Nicola Friday bossing that maul there. Furlanese coming through the middle, losing her experience. She's wrapping.
Left behind by Friday. Scuffle McCabe. Grace Moore.
Okay, 9, use it.
Scuffle McCabe goes deep. O'Brien to clear. Oh, it's blocked down. And the bounce favours France. And it's Bourdon again. And they've got their bonus point. And I think it's safe to say, even this early, they'll win as well.
Yeah, good cover there by Bourdon. You saw Ireland, they were taking time to set that up, giving France time to get that wall. Bourdon could read the game exactly what was happening, got that pressure on O'Brien. Good covering of the boot.
Great play by Bourdon. O'Brien incredibly unlucky.
Thanks, Ben.
Bourdon will be happy with that. She'll be disappointed in her 2 conversion misses, so she'll be happy with that there. Unfortunately, there was a green wall set up as a blocking, but they were just static. You know, sometimes you have to blur the lines of legality when it comes to that and just give a bit of a nudge here and there. They can run around you and through you instead of getting through a gap.
Bourgeois lining up the kick. The last one a lot easier than the current one. Will that come back in? No. She was trying to kind of catch it in the wind.
Makes the score Ireland 3, France 22.
Well, O'Brien, you could see she was nearly looking up the pitch and just didn't quite see Bourdon in her eye line. Very, very unlucky. She's had a fine game up to now.
No, 3.
O'Brien switches it this time. But France again have the answer to any question that's asked.
You're never in a realistic position to catch the ball. 40.
Ferlou, good catch. Taken out well in the air. Penalty France.
She's been concrete under those high balls all day.
Bourdon. Ireland try and get it going quickly and bat it back into play, Deely, but That's
So
not
you're
going
not
to
in a
happen.
realistic position to catch the ball and you've just taken her out. Yeah, you touched her. Yeah. Yeah, girls on the line's good.
Aoife Doyle being spoken to by the referee, Holly Davidson. Doyle, who made her Six Nations debut against France in 2015. She said after last week's match they just want to get back at it. There has been positives from Ireland today, but look, France they're just a quality outfit and they're showing that.
Really good peel there by France. Good breakaway.
Ireland try and hold up this maul. Bourdon. Away goes Vernier. Vernier back inside. Bourdon for the hat-trick. She'll give it back to Vernier, who gets France's 5th try. When it's played like that, it's a beautiful sport to watch.
Oh, it's fantastic. Some real running rugby. France, they just seem to know where each other are without even looking. It's just that cohesion, that time together, that experience as a group, and they're not afraid to play. They're not afraid to make mistakes, and they're definitely not afraid to try different things.
Very unselfish by Bourdon, who probably could have got home, but she offloaded to Vernier, who was the player of the match against Italy last week. Scored a try then, has scored a try now. France cruising. Well, I think with the sending off, Ireland poked the beast, and the beast has shown its claws.
Completely, they've come back with a vengeance. They're coming back to answer and put in a very strong first half performance here. Obviously, France would have been disappointed with the performance last week against Italy, so I suppose they want to put their best foot forward today.
Bourgeois. No. And the thing is it's not that Italy or France were that bad in that game. Italy were actually quite good. They're improving all the time. Got to a World Cup quarter-final last year, so. Vernier from Bourdon. And they're happy. They've made the trip.
Means right. Huh? 3 means right.
O'Brien hangs it up in the air. Felu there again. She's so solid under those high balls, isn't she?
So calm, so collected.
It doesn't matter if it's spinning or whatever way it's moving. She's just able to take it in hand. Here's Groh. Groh turning on the afterburners and getting away. Groh has support. And she used it well. Now it's into the hands of Menage. Squirts out, looked like it went forward. Ireland get the scrum. I think it's a relief for those in green.
Just on the restarts, it's Darren O'Brien got from the first 2 going down the opposite side. She got some really good change out of it, pinned France back. From the last 3, France have been comfortable under the high ball, recycled and got a good attacking platform. We'd hope to see him switching to the opposite side again.
They're encouraging. Christy Haney took up rugby quite late. Born and raised in the States, but qualifies for Ireland through her Tipperary grandmother. She's ideal for the scrum. She has a master's in structural engineering.
Set!
Scuffle McCabe in. Scuffle McCabe takes. Is there anything there for Ireland before half-time?
Thank you. Okay, use it.
Try and sneak down that short side. Scuffle McCabe. O'Brien is waiting to kick it. Not necessarily the option she'll go with. It is this time. O'Brien kind of directs it back inward. Bourgeois
Backwards.
fumbled it, but backwards. That's left behind again. Arbez. Oh no, she's saying it was knocked on. It's a scrum to Ireland. And a bit of hope before half-time. And the crowd are responding to anything positive that goes Ireland's way. I thought she'd got away with it. She thought she'd got away with it. Holly Davidson, eagle-eyed, spotted it though.
Really good pressure there by Aoife Doyle. force that knock-on with that extra pressure.
Aoife Doyle, another one of the sevens group. This is her 14th cap for the 15s.
Bind. Set.
Scuffle McCabe feeds. Takes it. Gets away from Bourdon temporarily anyway. Moore. Monaghan. Nick aboard. Gets support from Jones. Scuffle McCabe. Friday. Scuffle McCabe. Remember, if Ireland can get close, there's a little bit of extra room there because France are down to 14, but they have turned it over. And they'll try and play it even though they have the bonus point already secured and we're in the red. Menage, beautiful offload. Menage outside. Here's Bane. Bane, does she have the pace? Trying to get there is Doyle, still chasing her Bean. The two combine to stop her. Bourgeois. Bourdon wanted it, didn't get it.
Sorry.
And there's relief all around because it looked like Ireland were going to concede there when I think Bane took off. The half-time whistle has been blown. Ciara, what have you made of it?
Definitely improved first half performance compared to last week. But France have just showed the experience, that cohesion as a group, that non-fear of trying to attack from anywhere. Hopefully we come out and see Ireland try to put some points on the board.
They went down to 14 early enough in the game, but it hasn't really made a difference. France have responded, and then some. Half-time, Ireland 3, France 27.
Well, girls, Claire and Hannah, pretty much as we expected, unfortunately, at half-time. France very much on top. We're going to take a look through some of the incidents. We're going to start, Claire, with that opening French try. We'll have a look at that in a second, but as we said, as expected.
Yeah, France definitely came out firing, and actually we saw quite a good start from Ireland as well. But France just came out all guns blazing, and you know they've already got the bonus point. It's going to be hard to come back from that in the second half.
Hannah, as we said, it's a tough French side, but we have seen some positive play from Ireland. We're going to take a little bit of a look later on at that, but let's start looking at the damage that the French have done. We'll start with that first try, Hannah, that Audrey Forlani opener. It was a very nice team try.
Yeah, look, Ireland did really well. It initially started off a line-out maul, which Ireland defended pretty well. But then, you know, France are so good. They've so much depth across the park that they just were able to move the ball wide and then use the experience and that mobility of their big French pack to power over the line. And Ireland probably switched off a little bit here. They're expecting a quick carry here, and then we ended up passing with the 9, and we just get a little caught on our spacing, and it's an easy try then for Forlani, and it kind of snuffed out Ireland a little bit because we had started so well, so with some really positive carries and some dominant tackles.
A few minutes later, Claire, it was Caroline Boujard with the second try. A little bit of a lack of experience in the back three, really. Yeah,
I think whatever way Ireland were defending that one, France could see and really put in a lovely kick. They could see, you know, there's space out there, and I'm not sure where Aoife Doyle was. I think she was potentially up in the defensive line expecting them to play short, but yeah, that's a frustrating one, and that's a difficult one for Ireland's back three. They'll need to go in and have a chat about what they're doing in that backfield so that they can better defend that.
2 missed French conversions though, Hannah. I'm sure they'll be disappointed with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, 2 very makeable conversions. New French 10 in there with Arbez, with Duran out with 7s. You know, doesn't look like it's going to really affect the game too much today, unfortunately, with the scoreline. But it's something that going forward they'll be looking to change that up, and they're easy conversions they want to be making.
A big moment, just approaching the 20-minute mark, a red card for France. It was Anna-Elle Deshay, Claire, who was sent off. There was a couple of gasps we heard with the tackle. What did you make of it?
Yeah, well, there was obvious head contact there. It was high danger, like we heard Holly going through the sort of process there, and you can't be making these high tackles, and I suppose that's something that World Rugby are really trying to stamp out. So if there's head contact, if it's direct to the head, if there's high degree of danger and there's no mitigating factors, it has to be a red card. And I suppose we haven't seen Ireland really be able to take advantage of France only having those 14 players. And I suppose that's something we sometimes see whenever a team gets a red card. They can actually up their game.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we've seen with France. They've obviously gone on and scored a good few more tries after that.
Hannah, the referee didn't hesitate. She was very, very clear in her decision making.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, there was a high degree of danger there. Really good carry, spot in the face by Derv Nicovard. And Deshae didn't really dip into it. Didn't mean any damage or anything like that, but it's a definite red card. You know, World Rugby were trying to cut that out. We really thought that Ireland could push on and use that red card to their advantage, but this just shows the dominance of this French team, that they're able to adapt so quickly, and you wouldn't even know that they were down to 14 players at this point.
Is it disappointing, Claire, that they didn't kick on after that red card?
Yeah, it is, but I suppose we did see some promising aspects to Ireland's play as well. We did see them getting through some multi-phase attack, and there have been positives, but it's frustrating that they then have allowed France to get into the game further. And it's been simple mistakes, it's been missed tackles, it's been lack of concentration at times that have just allowed France to make a half break or make a line break and get through and score the try. So it's frustrating that Ireland haven't been able to push on from that, but maybe in the second half they'll come out after regrouping at half time and be able to do something more.
It was the French, unfortunately, Hannah, who did go on to score another try, Pauline Boujard this time. And really, it was Ireland switching off, wasn't it? And unfortunately, something that we saw last week against Wales as well.
Yeah, look, France used their dominance here. Ireland are missing a lot of their first up tackles, which is enticing more Irish players into that ruck side, creating that space. Forlani just spots a gap, and Ireland need to be much better in their defence, and it's a sign of our inexperience and our structure that we haven't been around each other long enough. Ciara Griffin mentioned it in comms, a pillar is like the epitome of our defence, and it needs to be one of the first setups. We switch off for a second, and Bourdon and Forlani are two very experienced players, and they totally recognise that we switch off, and a lovely combination from them two to get Bourdon over the line, and that, I'm sure, dented Ireland's confidence, particularly after that red card.
As Hannah says, Claire, you have to give France credit. It was a lovely combination. Some, very good play from them, and they went on to change their kicker for their conversions and to their success.
Yeah, I think you can understand why they changed the kicker. Two pretty simple kicks to start off with, and Bourdon is usually, pretty confident off the bit, but today I suppose there's a bit of a swirling wind down at Musgrave, and they obviously have changed the kicker, and it's worked for them. They've got a couple of conversions, but yeah, France are definitely on the up, and hopefully Ireland will be able to come out stronger in the second half.
The fifth try was scored by Gabrielle Vernier very unselfishly. She was on for the hat-trick, Hannah, but she decided to pass on Bourdon for Vernier to convert. Very unselfish of her.
Yeah, again, look, just for me, another missed tackle there from Ireland first up, giving these French players the opportunity. And what France are really, really good at is running lines and support play, and it allows them to play that jouet style that they like, where they keep the ball alive. Bourdon could have been in for the hat-trick in the first half, but she unselfishly passed it back to Vernier, who set her off on the line break in the first place. And it looks like France are really enjoying themselves out there, and that can be a worry for Ireland going into the second half.
And I think Vernier's in your fantasy team, is that right? So you're glad the pass was on?
Absolutely, yeah. I took out Bourdon the other day. I'm raging.
Are you into the fantasy game, Claire?
Yes, I do. I've got a few players out there that should hopefully be doing well for me.
But Hannah, looking to push on now in the second half, Ireland, what will they be feeling in the dressing room? What will Greg be saying?
Look, they'll be hoping to look back at some of the positive aspects of play that they've had. Some of their defence, their maul defence in particular, has been very, very good, something that was lacking last week against Wales. They'll be hoping to prove on that and have a bit more of an attacking platform. Dana O'Brien's boot's been really good for getting them out of trouble most of the time, and they'll be looking to use that and put that French defence under a little bit of pressure and get into French territory, which they've struggled with so far. Their defence at times, they really need to step up with their first time tackles, and they'll be hoping that they're going to get a big impact from the bench in that half.
Absolutely. Well, coming up after us, it's Wales taking on Scotland, and one player set to feature in that game is a player that Ireland know only too well. It's Cecilia Tulipilotu.
On the pitch, I'm like Goliath, and off the pitch, I'm like David.
That's the strength, that's the power, that's the size of Cecilia Tulipilotu.
She's made her tackles, she's made her carries, and the best thing is she's such a modest player.
You're a really good player, by the way. Well done for winning.
Thank you. Knowing that my family's proud and knowing that they're happy with how I'm performing and stuff, it just gives me the fire in my belly to work that much harder to keep them proud and stuff.
Tulipilotu, the new superstar of Welsh rugby, is born.
Cecilia's an absolute wrecking ball. She's a powerhouse, carries really well. Legend, kind, and she's just lush, she's lovely.
The way we saw Cecilia play on the weekend was the way that we've always known she can perform, and it's crazy to think that it's only been a year since her first cap and how far she's come, especially with a change of position.
3, 2, 1.
When she's around the team, she's one of the most softly spoken. She probably wouldn't speak unless you speak to her, unless there's a TikTok going on.
The reason why I play very well is because of my faith. I put all my trust in God, and He'll lead me throughout the game, protect me throughout the game, so I think that's the main reason why I played the way I did.
There's no words that can explain how I'm feeling right now. I'm just grateful for the team that I have and for my family and friends for always supporting me on the field and off the field.
Well, that game is live here on BBC Two directly after this programme. But back to this game, Claire. Disappointing at half-time, the scoreboard, but we have seen some positive play. We're going to take a look at a few positive phases of play, and there is plenty to go into this second half with.
Yeah, there definitely is. Like, we've seen a couple of half breaks. We've seen Molly Scuffle-McCabe here making a break, and then some lovely multi-phase play after that. It's frustrating for Ireland that, you know, they get through all those phases and then it's just a simple error. Dana O'Brien gets isolated and then there's a turnover. It did look at this point that, you know, Ireland were on the 5 metre line. They were close to, you know, getting over the try line, but it just wasn't to be. And I suppose that is the inexperience. Maybe they should have kept it in with the forwards another couple of phases before they moved it wide. But that's something that they'll learn from and hopefully learn from into the second half.
Hannah, we talked about Dana O'Brien pre-match and her kicking. We've seen some lovely kicking from her in this first half, despite those couple of mistakes Claire mentioned as well. Do we need to see more of that second half?
Yeah, look, she's had some really, really positive motions. She's allowed us to exit really well. This is a beautiful kick to get us up along and get us out of pressure and, you know, putting the onus back on France to come at us again. She was really unfortunate for that block-down try, but I really hope that she can shake that off and continue to allow us to ease the pressure in the second half, because I've no doubt that France are going to come and give it everything in this next 40 minutes.
Claire, we mentioned as well there were some players on that bench itching to get off, potentially make their debut. Will Greg make any changes at half-time, do you think?
I don't know that there'll be any changes straight away at half-time. Maybe around that 50-60 minute mark we might see a few changes. It's going to be a difficult match for those girls who are potentially getting their first cap to come into, but I'm sure they will be chomping at the bit. They will be wanting to get out there onto the pitch. There's nothing better than coming out and playing a physical game, playing against the likes of France. So I'm sure everyone on that bench will be putting their hand up. They'll want to get out here and they'll want to try and stamp their mark on this match.
Hannah, what do you think? Any changes second half?
Yeah, I agree with Claire. I don't think, you know, at half-time we're going to see many changes here. You know, I think Greg will be fairly happy in some regards with what he's seen. And
do you think it's a lot more positive, Hannah, at this point than last week?
Absolutely. I think, look, what we've seen this week, we didn't see a lot of that last week. We've held onto the ball a lot better. We've made much better decisions. It's unfortunate we just haven't been consistent in that right across the half, and that we've had some opportunities and we just quite haven't executed, and France have shown that ability. But we will see changes, particularly around that front row, 50-60 minute mark. You know, and there's a couple of players like Anna McGann in the back line on the bench there who can be quite explosive. She's from the sevens as well, and she'd be itching to get in, not even named in the Six Nations squad at the start, so this would be great for her if she came on.
Now, we've seen images there from the dressing room. What's it like in there? And when heads are low and you're coming off at half-time, you know, a bit disappointed, how do you raise yourself for a second half?
I suppose it's just trying to get that mindset right. Obviously, the coaches will have been watching. They'll have had a few words for the players, a few simple things to work on that they'll want the players to focus on. But that in that dressing room at half-time, it's a moment of calm. It's a moment where you can sit back, take in a bit of information and think about what you're going to do coming out into the second half.
Thank you very much, Claire. Thank you very much, Hannah. We will be back at full time, but for now it's back to our commentary team where former Ireland captain Ciara Griffin is alongside Oisín Langan.
Thank you very much, Nicola. France out on the pitch, ready for the second half, already with the bonus point secured. They will want to go one better in the TikTok Six Nations this season and actually win it. Very unlucky to be beaten by New Zealand in the World Cup semi-final. Did win the bronze medal. Ireland, unfortunately, were not at that World Cup. They are building again. And Ciara Griffin, what we are seeing today is there is a good bit of building to be done still.
Yeah, there is. Look, we are aware they're a very young Irish side, lacking experience, and unfortunately these tough days you learn an awful lot from. We need Ireland now just to front up, make those first up tackles and put the French back.
And that is the positive, that there are many young players in that team and young players can learn quickly.
Exactly, look, and they need to be, you know, open to learning as well, taking the feedback and just building on it.
Great, thank you.
So here we go. Dana O'Brien, who has largely had a good game and looks at 19 like she's really going to settle into international rugby very, very quickly. Ball falls for Zhu Gang. Advantage coming to Ireland. Scuffle McCabe. Sam Monaghan. Got it off to Vicky Irwin. Irwin, who's had quite a physical match so far. O'Brien. She's not afraid to put herself in harm's way, Irwin. She goes crashing into tackles.
Advantage. No problem.
And we'll come back for an Ireland scrum.
Knock on by 7.
Ball was knocked down by Emmeline Gros.
Nice attacking position here from Ireland. We can see, you know, backs on backs, get a nice back play here and just bring the ball, try to get a few phases together.
Once we set, we hold. Okay.
Well, the French supporters making some noise. Some have travelled, but there is actually a fairly large French population in Cork. Nicola Ward, scuffle McCabe. Oh, it's unfortunately left behind by Vicky Irwin. France fumble, but advantage was being played.
Knock on. Sorry, blue ball.
Most better scrum by Ireland, you know, they locked it out there. That was a very good attacking platform. The gap was made, unfortunately, ball just didn't go to hand.
Excellent, girls. Same again, okay? It's theirs. There's. Yeah, sorry. Forward by green first and then by blue.
So 2 knock-ons, but the first one was by Ireland, so it is a France scrum. Bourdon, who was interviewed by French TV at half-time. You see that with the French TV coverage of the top 14 as well, players speaking at half-time. That's a really good scrum by Ireland, and they've got the penalty. We talked about building on positives. That's a big positive.
That's a good option there for Ireland. They were centre of the pitch, nothing to lose. Good straight angle, drove through France. Really, really good turnover for Ireland. Good penalty one.
Just a reminder, of course, that De Hay was red carded in the first half. So France playing with only 14. O'Brien skews off a little bit, gets caught in the breeze, but it's still a good position for Ireland.
Thank you. That's going to be you, okay? Merci.
That's what it means to win a scrum, to drive quality output like France back. It's those little wins that turn into big wins and hopefully points. Friday.
Ireland going for a +1 option to set up that maul quick. Really good defence here from France, using that split driving towards the touchline.
Ireland steal away with the ball. That's Irwin who's held up again. Nicola Ward. Back, wasn't knocked on, so that's okay. It was a good tackle from Felou. Friday. Friday presents it. Scuffle McCabe can't get there. France off their feet. Ireland with a penalty.
Hands on the ground first and then onto the ball. Scrum. Scrum called.
Real switch in mindset there compared to last week. Ireland choosing to take a scrum here, showing how confident they are in the set piece.
Girls, make sure when
obviously
you're driving, you're staying
using
down,
that number up advantage. Again, you're centre of the pitch. You're not too worried about the wheel. You can go straight.
That's your mark. Yeah, you set up. We don't start this now. Crouch. Bind. Set.
Scuffle McCabe in. Passes. Dervin Nick Award. Scuffle McCabe trying to step through. Good tackle from Vernier. Got that wonderful try in the first half. Friday. Scuffle McCabe. O'Brien. There's space out wide. Grace Moore. Grace Moore pumping the legs. Scuffle McCabe. Jugang helps it on. Good work by Haney. Scuffle McCabe. O'Brien. Good ball. Irwin. Nicola Ward. Bouchard following her. Nicola Ward there. Vernier making the tackle. Nicola Ward watching on as the pass was given in by Scuffle McCabe. Ireland needs someone to get there.
Still green ball.
Scuffle McCabe with Haney amongst others waiting. Jugang takes it. Scuffle McCabe. Friday. Ireland giving the home support something to cheer about here. Irwin. Irwin, can she keep it? She has been through the wars today, Irwin. France defending well. Remember, down one player. Wall recycles. Scuffle McCabe. O'Brien. O'Brien offloads, and a good one as well to Nicola Ward. Penalty France. Really, really good defence from them.
Well won, good turnover. Dervin Nicola Ward, that slight disconnect from her support play. She kind of fell forward onto the ball, just giving that time for France to get over it, wrapping the ball into her body. Just in that phase alone, Nicola Friday went through numerous carries, really driving forward, getting gain line each time.
Yeah.
And France get it clear.
They're taking our line out of the game on the way to the ruck.
Okay.
Every time, could you keep an eye, please?
Yeah, I'll watch. So one thing I will ask is that if the 9 is going in and they're running back and they collide, I don't see that take out, but I'll watch for a wrap.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Nicola Friday there making the point that France seem to be pushing Molly Scuffle McCabe out of the way when it comes to breakdown. It happened there in the last attacking play. It's good to highlight these things to a ref, just that it's in their mind.
Forlani takes it.
It's a maul.
Another good maul from France. Sosha has the possession. Bourdon waiting, patient as always. Bouchard there waiting to burst. She doesn't get it this time. It is Vernier. Bourgeois. Bourdon testing Ireland. A test that's passed by Aoife Doyle, who will counter-attack. Was that a high tackle? The referee playing advantage. We'll play it for the moment, Nick Ward. It is a high tackle. It is a penalty.
Really good fielding there by Aoife Doyle. Good covering, reading that kick by Bourdon.
O'Brien with the solid strike and a great catch. You may not have seen it on your pictures, but there's a youngster who's in the stand who came running out and took it incredibly cleanly. I'm not sure if he's Dolphins Sunday as well, Corkcan, which club he is locally, possibly Ballincollig as well, but whoever they are, they're lucky to have him. O'Brien, helped on by Wall. Nick Ward. Scuffle McCabe. It looks like Irwin, who I think is held up there, but there's so many bodies in the way it's difficult to see. Stabbed through by O'Brien. Boujard chasing back. Bourgeois was waiting. Doyle goes to ground. Here's Boujard trying to get away. Bourgeois.
Look at your player.
Bourdon. Good pass. Escudero.
First player, ball is off the ground.
Bourdon. France are so comfortable, even when the pressure is put on them. Here's Fellou. Gaining ground. Furlani backing her up. Furlani looking around to see if there was any options. She did the clever thing, got to ground. France recycle. Arbez blocked down and it just falls back her way. Bourdon. Bernier. Banet didn't gain too much ground. Jugang tries to grab it after it went loose. Advantage is coming for Ireland. Well, a few positive moments for Ireland there, but France about to make a change. One of them is Jessie Tremelier, former World Player of the Year. One of the players of the decade from 2010 to 2020. This is her final TikTok Six Nations season. She's retiring after this.
Gail Hermé is also coming onto the back row there. Former French captain, vast amount of experience also. They're not too bad substitutes to be able to bring on the second half.
Ireland making changes as well. Vicky Irwin, who has put her body on the line today. She's worked incredibly hard. She's heading off, as is Scuffle McCabe.
Yeah, see, when I stand at the front here, you used to take that contest in the air.
And in for her debut, Emma Swords, a player who's a very good communicator, I'm led to believe. This is the first time many of the fans here will have seen her.
Yes, so that's why I want you to look at here, okay?
See, Anna McGann is coming on there at centre for her third Irish 15s cap. It's her first cap as the back. She's come on the last two times in the front row, replacing Nicola Friday as lock in the second row. So positional switch here.
Another one who's played sevens, Anna McGann from Athlone.
Good girls. Okay, time on.
Tremoulier will be absolutely determined to make sure that France get their hands on the trophy this year. And that confirmation, with the confirmation there that Hermé is coming for Gros. Yes, Tremoulier is actually retiring to work on her family's farm. She said her dad is getting too old, so it's going to be her and her brother. 300 hectares and 200 animals, including 60 dairy cows. You'd like that challenge, wouldn't you? You'd gladly work with her on the farm in France.
It's not a bad retirement plan to have, to be fair. I'm a bit jealous, if anything.
Swords. More cutting through. More still going. Swords, a late replacement for Nicole Cronin. O'Brien. Boujard fumbles. Ireland caught a break there. I think she didn't realise that there was no one around her. And Ireland get the scrum.
France appear to be their own worst enemies in the first 10 minutes of this. You know, a lot of unforced errors. So it's trying to get back into the game, whereas Ireland putting a bit of pressure on, which again, you're getting a bit look at the green, getting a lucky bounce here and there.
Swords to feed into the scrum for the first time.
Set!
Swords. Ireland moving it quickly. O'Brien. Swords. Friday wasn't necessarily the best pass. Friday does well to hang on to it.
It's in a strong position.
But France get the penalty. Swords doesn't want to give it away.
Just on the pitch, let the ball go. Yeah.
That's a silly 10 metres to give away against France. You know, you don't give any added advantage, just give the ball back. Go back your 10 metres.
Will this stay in play? It does, it holds up, and it was well taken by Behan.
Out, green out!
Behan chasing after it. Jugang there as well. France get the penalty.
One. You're completely entering that and kicking it out.
Bourdon plays it. They can be lightning when they want to be, France. That's intercepted by Grace Moore. France get another penalty.
Brilliant turnover by Gaynor May there, using her experience, getting low over the ball, seeing Moore's isolated. Really good back row turnover.
And into the corner it goes from Tremoulier. I know we've a lot of urban dwellers watching today who are wondering, well, what does 300 hectares actually mean for the size of a farm? It just means it's really big. It's really big. Ciara Griffin is nodding.
You'd imagine France are going to try maul this over, use that driving maul.
Forlani. Here comes the maul. It's easy to predict, it's incredibly hard to stop. Ireland being edged backwards and to the side towards that kind of Sunday as well corner. France going for the line, going for try number 5, and they will get it. Socha. Really, really strong work again from the French.
The Cavendish of Socha at the back of that maul. Davidson said to use it. Socha saw it was going forward. She kept it in, controlled it. Was a steering wheel at the back and got it over the line. Well worked French try.
First try of the second half for France. Incredibly well worked.
We see 2 Irish changes coming on here. Brittany Hogan is coming on, and so is Sive McGrath.
Sorry? You were 5, okay, there were 6. So just make sure they give numbers early and I'll watch, okay? Okay.
Well, you could just get the sense that France weren't going to be repelled. So Chat, the 27-year-old with the 5th try. Can Bourgeois, the 20-year-old, take the conversion? Well, she can take the conversion. Can she score it?
A flurry. Yeah.
That is not a bad kick at all into the Tremor Road end of Musgrave Park. And France extend their lead.
So it appears, looks like McGrath has replaced Christy Haney, so we'll be guessing that Linda Jugang will go over back into tight head, and Sive McGrath will take up the loose head position. And Brittany Hogan replaces Grace Moore in the back row at 7.
How tough is that to switch mid-game?
It is, it's difficult because you're in that mindset, totally different positional skill, different bindings. We'll see how it reacts now.
Well taken, Escudero.
You enough? No.
We're done. Kalfawi is also on for France. Steely counter-attacking. Here's O'Brien. O'Brien trying to follow her own kick, and you can see how strong the breeze is by the way it just kind of spun in the air.
Wait, hold. Is anyone putting him on? No, I think
Two chase back. Deely following Behan. It's Behan who takes it. Behan dips the shoulder and drives on. Swords gave to Sam Monaghan.
Take him back, take him back.
O'Brien to clear. It's blocked down. And it was a knock-on and it went into touch, so
Audrey.
the decision is Francis.
Great girls, thank you.
Not surprised France are going for the line-out option. Look at the change you got from the last one. You've seen the dominance Ireland have had in the last few scrums also.
They're just making subs.
No hat-trick for Bourdon. She doesn't really mind, does she? Scored 2 tries, set up a third. And she knows her team will go back to France with all 5 points. Forlani again takes it, but again, France go with them all. And it's really, really effective. France rumbling towards the line. I think that's Sosha again who has it. Forlani might go. Forlani passes rather than going for it herself. France short for now. Chambon. And Banet was waiting, and she had all the time in the world. And France get try number 6. They are so impressive.
She's side entry as well, eh?
7th try, I beg your pardon. I'm beginning to lose count.
Brilliant pass by Chambon there, you know, to cut out 4 Irish defenders. Caught looking in, watching the breakdown instead of watching what's in front of you.
You fight with touch there?
Well, the kick goes off frame. Won't make too much difference regards this match. The kickers are disappointed when they don't complete the job.
Substitution number 23, Marie Dupuis, replaces number 13, Banet Manger.
Banet plays her club rugby at Montpellier. Missed the Rugby World Cup, was part of the Grand Slam winning team of 2018. France about to bring in more changes. Can Ireland come up with a big finish? Greg McWilliams and John McKee. Well, they knew how difficult today was going to be. But that doesn't make it any less disappointing when you're seeing it unfold in front of you.
It's gone 10.
It has gone 10. It looked like for a second it mightn't. That will tell you how strong the breeze is. Again, France just go long and direct with the clearance. That might go dead, though. A rare mistake from a player like Tremolier. So we'll come back to where it was kicked from, and Ireland will have the scrum.
Yeah, again, a look at nice attacking position here for Ireland, getting that scrum. They'll have confidence in it. First scrum side McGrath.
Yeah, so that's just your mark. You set the gap off of that, okay? Is that good? Yeah. Okay. Stability. I have that, Derv. Crouch. Bind. Set.
Sword speeds. Nicola Ward, a little bit isolated, very isolated.
Not on the ball.
Now the support arrives. Friday. Swords. O'Brien. Driving the legs and gaining some ground. That's good work. Swords. O'Brien. Dalton. It's ripped back. Escudero.
Look at Bouchard chasing. Look at Bouchard chasing again, putting pressure on the Irish back line. Do they realise she's there?
And O'Brien does the sensible thing and just touches it down.
Goal line.
Bouchard, off camera, made up some ground. There will be a goal line dropout, so Ireland's still under pressure, but if O'Brien didn't touch it down, then Bouchard potentially could have stolen in.
Straight out there by O'Brien, giving the ball back to France, 5 metre scrum. France will see the change they got, the pressure put on the last Irish scrum. They take confidence from this. They'll probably use it as an attacking platform.
Just over here, girls. No. Girls.
France making a change. Piku has been warming up ferociously for the last few minutes.
So Riffin is on for her debut at hooker.
Great scrums, girls. Same again.
For France.
Good scrums. Same again. Stability, okay? Merci.
France with the scrum under the Irish posts.
Interesting here. France haven't put a back row in the A position. They'll be looking to play off it. They won't keep it in. They look to put the back line through.
Well, when you can play like they can, why not?
Exactly.
That's the result for Ireland. France collapse. It's good to see that level of effort so late in this game. And a solid clearance.
1, 3. I need to see your square at the moment. On set, it is this. Okay? Yeah.
Jones. Friday wanted it, but France steal it back. Bounces kindly for Vernier. Was that knocked on? Ireland would play it. Nick Ward spotted the gap, but it was very quickly closed. She did manage to get it to McGann.
Play it. It's number 2 underneath her.
Swords. Sam Monaghan. O'Brien. Going to find a way through his Doyle. Swords. Helped on by O'Brien. Swords has it in hand again. They were queuing up for that one. Here's Jugang. Swords. It's risky, but it does work out. Nick Ward. Well, it worked out initially in the sense that they did manage to keep it on the first phase, but lost it on the second. And knock on. And France get the scrum. Forlani, the captain, is going up. And Piku is coming in.
Okay. Square, yeah? Square.
Really good shift by Forlani as the French captain. She led from the front, makes some really hard carries, makes some good gain line meters.
Crouch!
Really, really strong performance.
Bind!
So France, who've already secured 7 tries, can they get number 8? Tremoulier. They're injecting the pace again. It's Chambon. Chambon. Tremoulier. On the run, Picou. Tremoulier. They go deep. It's Vernier.
Not now, 13, no! Hands are on the ground.
Bellew,
Not gone in the tackle.
fumble, but kind of falls kindly for France. Tremoulier. Lovely skill. Made it look so easy. Here's Escudero.
Good double hit there by Ireland.
Ball is out, play on, play on.
They try and steal it back. They've turned it over. Good work by Ireland. Getting her hands on it there is Saif McGrath.
Okay.
Started in Wales last week.
Use it!
O'Brien.
Green just off the line. That's going to be you, okay? Thanks. I'll get them.
Look at the speed there of the French ruck. 1 to 3 seconds, 71%. It's hard to defend against ruck ball that acts quick.
Well, that's the thing. They do everything at such pace and with such execution.
They've pace, they've accuracy, and they've understanding. It's.
Well, there's more of the accuracy you spoke about. Hermé took it. Picou has it in possession at the back of that maul.
Okay, you're not bound on anymore. Out you go.
Friday told to move out of the way. Chambon tried to get it going quickly. Here's Tremoulier. Bourgeois. Boujard. Bane, who's looking for a second try. Oh! Dini could be in trouble for that.
Advantage.
France playing it. Hermé. Now it's Chambon. Chambon again. It's lost, but we will come back for the France penalty.
Here, Poole. $15.
Let's have another look at that.
15. Yeah.
I don't think even Dini expected to get away with that.
No.
Temporarily stopped the try from being scored, but France will fancy their chances of getting over anyway now.
You know, just get low on the tackle. You should be knowing your person's here when you're tackling. It's just not necessary.
Quite a sore one as well, I imagine.
Girls, it's a yellow card because there's a grab and then a pull, okay?
Both teams down to 14, what it looks like for the last 10 minutes.
Good. Here, pull. They're not. Wait. Girls back.
So France will run it, France will play it. Ireland know what to expect, but again, so difficult to stop. There's Rifanou. Hermé, good pass. Chambon, Tremoulier. Couldn't find a way through, but did find a teammate. Still France have it. Escudero. They have found a gap. They have found an 8th try. It's Vernier. They have been sensational at times today.
Tackle was made. Thanks, Ben.
Vernier coming up with the finish.
Good out the door pass there. She rounded 3 Irish defenders. I think Ireland trying to claim for crossing, but it was just a really good line.
Vernier wasn't going to stop. She said, we'll worry about the appeal afterwards. I'll touch this one down.
I wouldn't either.
Last 10 girls, how are we going? Yeah.
Vernier's second of the game. That's a beautifully weighted kick.
The scrum on your side that I penalised, is that what you're seeing?
Catherine Buggy coming in here to make her international debut.
At the age of 35. She treated yesterday like a fine wine. Catherine Buggy of Gloucester.
Hannah O'Connor comes on to replace Nicola Friday.
Hannah O'Connor, who plays her rugby for Blackrock, plays for Leinster as well, originally from Galway. 16th cap for Hannah O'Connor.
And Lauren Delaney is coming on for Aoife Doyle.
Lauren Delaney, whose birthday was yesterday.
It looks like she's going to cover the backfield with Delia in the sin bin.
Well, Delaney excelled at basketball as a kid. She was an Irish age grade international. Tweeted this week about how delighted she was to be back in green after 6 months, Delaney. France clear. It's with the knee, so that's okay, it's not knocked on. And then gathered by Delaney. She would have played basketball against Lindsay Peat amongst others. And let me tell you, Lindsay was exactly the same on the basketball court as she was on the rugby pitch. Incredibly effective. Monaghan. That's left behind. France turn it over and away goes Rifanu. Rifanu on her debut, looking around for support, and she has it. Probably should have just backed herself. Ireland turn it over. It's a temporary reprieve. Nope, they haven't turned it over. It was knocked on. Hermé, well, she knocked it on, but it doesn't matter because we will come back for the France scrum.
Rifanu should have backed herself.
Time off.
She kind of looked around, and that actually gave Irish players just that split second to catch up with her.
18.
Bane is receiving some treatment. She looks like she will be okay and will play on.
O'Brien seems to be receiving treatment here as well also. Hopefully she'll be okay to carry on.
Well, Chambon was in support, but she was just a little bit too far away.
Yes, we just have an injury. Oh, okay.
And the fans still getting behind the home team.
Okay.
A team that will need all the encouragement that they can get, because this is looking like it's going to be a very, very tough campaign.
Okay. Girls, it's just going to be as a 5, okay? It's going to be a blue scrum.
Of course, England come here, but they are away to Scotland and Italy, and ever improving Italy.
Let's go. Yeah. Oh, God, sorry. I mean, you can call them and we don't mind.
We'll resume. There's Sam Monaghan. Always works hard, always puts in a shift. Played Gaelic football with Meath underage. Played with Wasps as well, now with Gloucester Harpery. France, who are greedy for tries.
Bind. Set.
France getting the shove on. Chambon thinks about getting involved. She'll leave it off for now. France will get over. France do touch it down.
Really good control at the back of that scrum, you know. It was going forward at a quick enough pace. Had very good control with the boot, keeping that ball moving forward, secure, putting her body over the ball, preventing the turnover. Wherever you go, West Padero. She'll be happy with that.
She will, and she deserves it. She's had a fine game.
She does. She's been a workhorse around the field. Really big hit. She's made 14 tackles. You know, so she's been very dominant and really strong force for France today.
Ciara Nielsen is about to come in for her debut. Clara Nielsen, I beg your pardon. The 30-year-old playing for Exeter Chiefs, was with the Bristol Bears at one stage. Nielsen, who has represented England in the past, but now part of the Irish setup.
4.5.
There's Bourdon watching on, player of the match. Hard to argue with that.
Yeah, good, very, very good option there. You know, she was obviously be disappointed with her a few kicks at the start, but her work around the field was tireless.
So is there one try there for Ireland? The home supporters would love to see it. Chambon directing the traffic, which around Musgrave Park can be quite heavy at times. Chambon sits up nicely for Delaney, who will counter. Delaney, good running, got it off the Swords. Nielsen. Swords assessing the options, went short-ish. Nick Ward. Ireland trying their best, probing. Nielsen again carried. McGann tried to find Delaney. Delaney did well to take that one.
Advantage.
Swords.
Yes, 12.
France don't want to give anything up here. O'Brien, was she taken out off the ball? Referee says yes, it's a penalty. Well, actually, we might be coming back for an earlier infringement in that movement.
Deliberate knock-on. Thank you.
Yeah, we're going back for the knock-on as opposed to O'Brien being taken out off the ball.
I don't know if there was much force behind her. I think she might have got her leg caught herself.
It was more, well, I'm not going to step around you, but if you're there, I'm going to run into you. Either way, advantage was coming. I think she knew that as well.
She did. Yeah. Worth a try.
Speaking of tries, can Ireland get one here? Nick Ward. Hannah O'Connor amongst those in support. Swords, nice turn by Catherine Buggy. Buggy leaves it for Swords. It's juggled and lost. France have it back and now they'll play it. Remember, 14 on 14 at the moment. Boujard knocked on. Ireland with the scrum. I know they've won this comfortably, but the French players that have been on from the start must be very tired now, having played most of the game with only 14 players. Boujard, it wasn't a great pass to her, to be fair.
Yeah.
She is magic, Boujard.
She never say die either. She will always try. She's lightning quick, very good decision maker, always backs herself.
One of those players that she's just a joy to watch. Her speed, her movement, her ability to pass.
Yeah, you have to start here though, and then go.
You never really wanted to see her come down your channel on the wing, to be honest.
No, got that try in the first half. It did well to score it as well. It wasn't a gimme. So Swords to feed. Swords.
Thank you.
Delaney. She spins out of the tackle wonderfully there, but Bernier does eventually get her to ground. Swords. O'Connor. Try to find Nick Ward. Bourgeois thinks she has it back. She doesn't, it's still on the Irish side. Swords. Oh, it's lost. But France didn't roll away. Advantage was being played, so Ireland have the penalty. One last effort. Nick Ward. Swords. Can they find a way through? Swords. Hannah O'Connor. Driven back, but still with possession. Sive McGrath. Saif McGrath, who's a really fine young prospect.
Okay.
O'Connor, Swords, it's a little bit loose. Nielsen got it, but we will play on because it's a penalty to Ireland.
16.
Ruffinu pinged there.
Yeah, it's going to be here, girls. Scrub.
Just that quick tap there earlier, I would have gone to the corner myself, thinking, you know, get in within 5 metre, get that driving maul. France would probably stay down this close to the line.
Now, we didn't think we'd see Dealey back on the pitch, but she is now out of the sin bin, so it's 15 against 14 again in favour of Ireland.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Swords. Nicola Ward will go. Gives the Swords. Ireland looking for openings. McGann was held up.
Off feet. Leave it. No.
France just cannot get their hands back on this ball. Hannah O'Connor. Swords. O'Brien. Oh, it's just a little bit of a miscue. A tired pass, she was unlucky. And that's the game. France win 53 to 3 points. Ciara Griffin, what did you make of it?
Yeah, look, another tough defeat for Ireland in the second round. France just showed their dominance physically and then just their game experience. They backed themselves in the close channels, used their size and power.
What can Ireland take from the game?
I think Ireland can take that. Look, when you have a clear defensive policy from mauls, you can't stop it. They did stop it with the French threat in the mauls. Their defence was better in the first half when they got off the line. You need to make your first up tackles. You can't expect 2 people to make 1 tackle. So that's something we need to look forward to going into the next round.
Okay, well, France get the victory as expected, despite the fact that they went down to 14 early in the first half. France irresistible today. France excellent today. The final score, Ireland 3, France 53.
Thank you very much, Oisín and Ciara. Claire, we knew this was going to be a difficult test. Was it more difficult than you thought?
Yeah, look, the scoreline doesn't look good, does it? France were just so clinical today. Even though they spent most of the match with 14 players, they were just so clinical, and there were too many mistakes from Ireland. And it maybe seems strange to say it, but we did see some improvements from Ireland today. They definitely have worked on things from last week, and there's certain aspects of the game that have improved. But today, they just weren't good enough. Too many mistakes, and France showed their dominance.
We will look at those positive moments a little bit later, but Hannah, as Claire says, this French side are just so hard to stop.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking at a team here, one of the top 3 teams in the world right now, and the depth they have is incredible. To be able to bring on players with the likes of Jessie Tremoulier, who had a huge impact on the game, you know, is phenomenal. And unfortunately, they were far too physical, far too dominant for us, and they were able to turn their aggressive defence into exhilarating attack in a matter of seconds. And unfortunately, Ireland just couldn't get any kind of foothold in the game.
Okay, let's take a look through France's 4 tries, starting with Agathe Sucha's first one. That was their 6th try from a line-out. Hannah told me to give you this one because you're a forward and she wants you to talk about it.
Yeah, well, I suppose that was it was a line-out maul, and that's something Ireland struggled to defend last weekend. It's something that we saw has improved this week. So good line-out from France. Ireland get a good defensive shove on, but then France just keep the ball in there. They keep moving, they keep trucking it up, they make ground, and they just keep working. The referee is saying use it, but they're moving forward. And they're able to then, you know, get the ball over the line so they can score there. So it's really good work from the French forwards to just stay in there and get the try at the end of it.
Absolutely, Claire. Now, just a reminder that Wales against Scotland follows this programme. But now let's pass to Oisín Langan, who is pitchside.
With Nicola Friday, the Ireland captain. Nicola, your thoughts on the performance? Yeah, look, I'm really proud of the girls for sticking with it for that 80 minutes. We showed spells of what we're trying to do and what we want to do, like what we want to do on the ball, and we just, again, we met them. I think there was an improvement on our physicality this week. We met them up front, and our pack showed definitely an improvement from last week, but again, we didn't match the physicality and the intensity that the French brought, and if you're on the back foot like that, it's very hard to keep within the game, but I'm extremely proud of the effort from the girls there.
What do you think you will have learned from this?
A lot. Like, you know, it's invaluable game time for girls, and look, I know we've said it, but we're at the start of our journey as a group, and it's going to just take time, and people are getting behind us, and we are really appreciative of that, and it's just going to take time for this group, but like, we've learned so much. Girls would have been exposed to a different level of rugby today, playing against a French team like that, and at times we were on par with them in terms of physicality and mentality, and then other times we dipped off, and you have to be able to keep mentally in the game for the full 80 minutes, so that's where we'll take our learnings.
Unfortunately, no try, but you did keep playing, you did keep trying, and that's a really good sign, and obviously this crowd stayed with you.
100%. The crowd here today were amazing, and I want to thank everyone for coming out, because it means a lot to us as a group. We're starting out, and we want to bring them on our journey with us, and it means a lot that people showed up today and are really shouting for us, and we appreciate that.
Thanks, Nicola.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Oisín. We'll pick up on some of Nicola's points shortly. And again, the atmosphere, I think we have to say, has been excellent here today, just to add to her point. But let's, Hannah, take a look at France's 7th try for the moment. Cyrielle Banet with this one, and again from a line-out.
Yeah, look, again, this is where France's physicality and dominance started to show. They get a much better shove on in this maul and start moving forward fairly quickly, and all of a sudden Ireland are on the back foot. They do manage to stop them a little bit here, and there's a little bit of confusion, and Ireland kind of get caught on the short side a little bit, but a beautiful pass here just cuts out a couple of Irish defenders, and it's the easiest of finishes for Banet in the corner. And again, Ireland, you know, they had that confidence of being able to stop that maul directly from being scored, but France they showed their depth and their class, and this pass here just cuts out 4 players, and it's an easy finish for Banet.
Lovely finish. I'm going to stick with you for the 8th try, because it was Gabrielle Vernier again. She did get her hat-trick eventually, and good news for your fantasy team as well.
Yeah, look, I spoke about Vernier before the game. I think she's a fantastic player, very, very experienced. She does all that hard work of trucking it up off set pieces and everything else, but she's a fantastic player outside of that. She's a wonderful skill set. She'd had a couple of beautiful offloads in there, and 1-2 passes, and here she just shows a little bit of speed, a little bit of deception from France. They show a couple of forwards looking for the short line, and she just runs a beautiful line out the back to score in the corner. And like, if you look at those celebrations from the French players, you know, that wasn't the winning of the game, but they celebrate in their cohesion, and like, they look like a team that are having fun, enjoying themselves, and it shows out there on the pitch.
Absolutely does, Hannah. Now let's pass back to Oisín Langan. He is pitch side with Greg McWilliams.
Greg, a tough loss, but there were positives in there, wasn't there?
Yeah, it's hard. You know, it's a big scoreline. I think if you look at the resilience the players showed, we want them to show a bit more fight, and they definitely did that. There are improvements in certain areas of the game, and in fairness to France, they're very clinical. So you just have to keep developing, keep working. And again, I was happy that the players worked last week in a really good direction. And the key is to keep building now. With 3 new caps that have come in again this week. We'll get together for Italy and just look to show improvements all the time.
The improvement in the scrum and the maul, both defensively and offensively, was noticeable. Where did that come from?
I mean, they're a great group of players. You know, they're learning, they're inexperienced. And, you know, we've got really good coaches. Dennis Fogarty and John McKee are doing a mountain of work, and the players have bought in. And it takes time. You know, it's a young squad. You saw, like, the age profile of the team. But we own that, and we're proud of the players. You know, the scoreline isn't what we want, and we get that. And we understand the Irish public want us to win. But also, I'm just so proud of those players for what they're doing at the moment. It's difficult, and they're going into a well, and they're working hard, and they're asking themselves some tough questions. And all of these experiences are what you want in a team. And we'll look back in time, hopefully, and see these as being really important steps for us.
What are the key learnings from the match?
I'll have to look back on the video. I mean, like, obviously got to use the ball well. I thought we soaked a lot in our defence. You know, they were quite physical, but I thought we allowed them come into our space. I thought we soaked a lot of tackle, and if you lose the gain line in this game, it's really tough. And as a result, even in attack, our ball got slow, and they were able to fold, set, and get off the line and increase pressure on our attack. So, you know, there's lots and lots of positives, but all in all, we just need to look back on that, own the performance, and continue to develop as a group, which is what we ask from our players.
And do you need to maybe just get that bit of cohesion in? Is that missing still at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, look, cohesion is always important in sport, but you know, we've got inexperienced players that are very, very talented, and we have full faith in the squad, and we'll continue to improve and continue to get better. And that's what we want to see from these players, is week on week improving and working towards an end goal, which is to be the best team that we can be.
Thanks, Ray.
Thank you, Oisín.
Thank you, Oisín. We'll assess Ireland's performance in a second. First of all, just a reminder that Wales against Scotland does follow this programme. And just before we get to Ireland, we're just going to take a look at France's last try, their 9th and final try of the day. It was Charlotte Escuderos, and Claire, the scrum was really walked over in this one.
It was, yeah, you can see France get the shove on at the scrum, and they just control that ball at the back, and Charlotte Escudero does very well. It's a simple one for them. It's hard whenever a team gets the dominance at the scrum. Once you get that shove on, it's hard to stop. So, yeah, that just shows France's dominance there.
Hannah, a difficult day. We're not going to shy away from that, but let's take a look at some of the positives. We did talk about this being a more encouraging performance than Wales last week. We're going to take a look at some of Ireland's positive play, starting at the start of the second half and that scrum penalty. And have a look at this and talk us through this one, Hannah.
Look, I suppose last week with Ireland at set piece, they were really a bit all over the place, and set piece and scrum was a massive thing they wanted to get right here, and trying to get that scrum penalty from Ireland was a big deal there. They did have a player advantage over France because of that red card, but I suppose it just gives a lot of confidence to some of these young players coming in here. But unfortunately, the big thing was that Ireland couldn't actually get any points from it and couldn't execute.
Yeah, I suppose we saw that Ireland did a lot of things right. We saw glimpses of what they could do well. We saw them make sort of half breaks and line breaks. Grace Moore, I thought, came out in that second half and was absolutely firing. Like handoffs, Megan Gainline, ball carries. She was really impressive, and I think the whole of the back row did stand up in the first few minutes, but then France just got on top again. I think this Ireland team, you know, they're inexperienced, but we're seeing those glimpses of what they can do.
Yeah.
And I think the longer that they get to play together, the more match time they get, they are just going to improve. And it's exciting to see, and it's frustrating, you know, for them coming out, having that big scoreline. It doesn't look good, but they are at the start of their journey, and they will only improve.
Absolutely. I think that was Greg McWilliams' point in that post-match interview, wasn't it, Claire, as well? Well, that is it from us at Musgrave Park for today. But remember, you can listen to Leinster against Ulster. That game is live as we speak on BBC Radio Ulster and on the BBC Sounds app. Next up for Ireland, they travel to Italy in round 3 of the Six Nations. That game is live on the BBC iPlayer and on the BBC Sport Northern Ireland website. But for now, a big thank you to Hannah and to Claire and from all the team here at Musgrave Park. We will join you now with our network colleagues as Scotland take on Wales. Enjoy. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.